$29 a ticket. I better get like 16 Japanese prostitutes for life.
Hello, everyone. This is Black and Yellow Otaku Gamers.
Hello, everyone. It's Black Yellow Otaku Gamers. Yeah, that just happened, and it was great. I can't ask for a better segue. Literally the best thing that could have happened. So yeah, welcome to our podcast, our weekly podcast, where we talk about our shit taste in anime. It's not getting better from here. It's always going to continue to be shit. But we will fight you, even if it's bad. And I'm here with my boys, Rakutsu and Commander Cluck Cook. I'm Blackatron. Very sad that my mic is not working, so I have resorted to a very shitty webcam mic. I apologize in advance, but at the same time, I give no shits. So, hold on. And someone infected me with a sickness. I will kill them.
Wasn't me, I swear.
Don't lie to me.
I blame Nick.
It was clearly Aloha.
Well, I was not even here. You guys are right next to me.
No, that's exactly
Actually,
why.
right
Loha's
next
out
to me.
sick. He's not really.
Oh, you got me there. You got me there. So yeah, this week we decided to talk about, take a break from our seasonal and all these other discussions we've been going through and talking and discussing about, and decided to talk about something that we like to do on our free time, if that's what we're calling it free time.
Free time.
Like I'm going to con, not this week, next weekend, I believe so. Yeah.
And then Nick over there was at a con recently.
Nick was just at a con, what, last week? Yeah.
Sunday, yes.
I don't know how you did it. You're still alive.
Yeah. I've got a little survival guide tips that I realized today I could make an article on, and then realized as we were reviewing what the topic of this podcast was, that it was not an original idea at all, and I remembered something a week ago. So good for me for having better than goldfish memory.
It's very impressive. Well, yeah, we can still go over that as well, but just wanted to give a little background to each of us. They live in Florida. Me and Loha live in Rhode Island. There's not many cons up in Rhode Island. I know Florida, they have MegaCon, but I'm not really sure what other cons are there. But
Tampa has one. There's quite a few, actually.
MetroCon, the 16 they have in Miami. What else is there? AFO is a smaller one. They've got GatorCon in UF. It's an okay one. They had UCF one a couple times. It's very small.
I forgot what it's called.
It was lame. Like
MetroCon
won
or something like that.
Yeah, it was something really, really silly, and they only did it like 2 years, I think. But, yeah, having lived in both Rhode Island and Florida, the convention scene, both for video games and anime and just in general, is a lot stronger here. MegaCon surpassed Comic-Con's numbers, actually. It's not as popular. Like, we get Stan Lee and, like, the cast of Walking Dead, all the famous voice actors.
Well, we won't get Stanley anymore. That was the last one.
Yeah. But I mean, my point was, MegaCon's actually really famous and big.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't get publicized very well compared to Comic-Con or PAX, which are immense in scale. Honestly, it's daunting the first time you go to one of those big ones, because I've been to a couple of smaller ones like AFO, MegaCon before it got big, MegaCon as it was getting big, but PAX, I didn't go for like 2 years to MegaCon when it really blew up. Then I went to PAX and I was just stunned.
yeah,
Like it was crazy. Actually, we were all there. We all went to that PAX. It was PAX 2014.
I apologize real quick. I had to step away.
okay, that's fine.
No problem.
So the thing with conventions, like that threw me off so bad. I didn't expect him to
Yeah.
cover it.
I didn't either.
So
We should put like a splash art of him just.
it's too much work right now. If I knew in advance, I would have had like some like Sugoi AF,
We need
kawaii
those
shit right
splash
there.
arts.
So with Rhode Island, we have literally one convention here, like in Rhode Island, and it's Rhode Island Comic Con, and it's awful. It's gaining popularity now, but when it started, it got really bad reviews and comments from people because there was like a point where they oversold all their tickets and realized, oh shit, we don't fit the fire codes, so we got to kick everyone out. So like half the people that bought tickets couldn't go in.
That's
So,
fucking awful.
Yeah, and like last year and like the year before, we're gaining more people coming in. Yesterday we had not yesterday. I want to say yesterday. I think it was last year. We had Gal Gadot or Gal Gadot. I'm not sure how she pronounced
Gal
it.
Gadot?
Whatever her name is, Wonder Woman. She
Wonder
came.
Woman.
She came here, which was pretty sweet. And girl, that girl, man. Oh. So she was here, and it was pretty sweet. And I was just like, oh, you know, we're finally getting some attention here, and it's great. But I feel like all of our attention goes to the conventions in New York, Boston, and Massachusetts, and Connecticut, because Connecticut has an anime con that's decently sized, and I'm going to one in Jersey. So I'm driving 5 hours,
Oh my god.
maybe 6, to go to a convention in Jersey with one of my best friends that secretly wants to kill me, and it's gonna be great. Secretly.
Yeah. Secretly.
So yeah, like we have a ton of experience on our fronts. You know, I actually almost went to New York Comic Con last year to work for Crunchyroll, but sadly had other arrangements that I could not push back. So yeah, we got some intel, dogs, and we're trying to help you out. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're also gonna talk about some fun experiences we had, especially with PAX. You know, as a group, we've definitely had some great times. You know, and we're not talking about those the best game in PAX, which is the lines. You know, but like actually the games and all the different activities we were able to do, experiences, and so on and so forth. So first, I want Nick to talk about his great experience at MegaCon this past weekend.
So, it was great.
All right, cool.
No,
that was a
for
nice
real?
discussion.
For real, and part of this actually I got from my boss who'd gone as well. She's a huge Sailor Moon fan. She went to the Sailor Moon panel. And one thing that put a bad taste in my mouth from last year compared to years where Mark and I have gone with other people, MegaCon is not the most popular of conventions. It's probably one of, if not the hugest, because like I said, the numbers I believe actually did surpass New York Comic Con. It's just, it does not have that oomph, and the organization last year was complete and utter garbage. I waited in about 4 hours worth of lines with a couple people for tickets that we pre-ordered. My friend who had gone that was on a Friday. My friend who had gone on Thursday and pre-ordered his ticket. No, he bought it there actually. He bought the pass there, the 4 days. He was in and out in 30 minutes.
That's frustrating.
That infuriating. I didn't want to go this year, and our friend Christian convinced me to go. So what ended up happening was I said, sure, I'll only go Sunday. Why not? We get there on Sunday, and they had allotted a huge opening for tickets. Like the lines were empty when we were there, but they had just decided, no, we're opening the floodgates. Go, like I saw the area. Instead of being like 6 different partitions that they had narrowed off, because they had like choke points that couldn't have been more than 100 feet wide. Now, I don't know those of you who understand like spatial people traffic. The average person is about 2 feet wide. The average convention goer is about 3 to 4 feet wide. Imagine trying to jam
Are you
Kick me
saying
some
they're fat? Or are you
ass.
saying because of their cosplay?
Both. Both. Now, imagine trying to jam that many people through 100-foot wide line. It is awful. At best, you'll get 30 to 40. At worst, you will get like 15. And then that doesn't count assholes who will jump lines, people who are retarded, people who are just wearing bulky costumes that are really cool, but you take up the same space as my group of 7 people. But that was last year. This year, they had their shit together. I got to give it to them. It emptied out. And then the second you got out, you were on the convention hall. The side halls for exhibits. So there are panels at conventions where you can go and watch anything ranging from Funimation discussing and revealing their new sequel to Boku no My Hero Academia, Boku no Pico Academia.
I knew it was coming.
Or you can see a bunch of shitheads who have been friends for over a decade and got together and started rambling on the internet, and then they get a panel. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But it's really cool because those are these massive banquet hall rooms that can fit a couple hundred people, and they will just have this funny little desk, and the panel members, whether they're people from like the cast of Flash or Supernatural or video game designers, will show up and they'll be there and they'll answer questions. They'll just shoot the shit. And it's really cool because if you look at the schedules, you can do anything from, again, a Funimation panel to speed dating in cosplay to a maid cafe that was more likely than not actually full of men, like actual butlers in maid costumes. I wouldn't have put it past them to do something like that. But they did have maid cafes at MegaCon.
So one thing I want to say before you move forward is
Go for it.
Trying to compose myself here. Had it. So this convention, to anyone that doesn't know what MegaCon is not like an anime convention. It's not a video game convention. It's a mega convention with all these different cultures, like pop culture, one thing.
It's literally everything. So anime, video games,
Comic book.
Western comic books, TV shows, even.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everyone understands because like someone like me who knew nothing about MegaCon, I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Especially when you mentioned Supernatural and like Arrow and shit. It's like, all right, I thought we were talking about anime. Well, then again, pretty sure there is like an anime series for one of those things. Wouldn't be surprised.
There is a Supernatural anime. There is a Supernatural anime, and it's not bad. I still remember actually, and the coolest thing about MegaCon is the wildest. Barring one, the best cosplays I've ever seen from a convention that I have personally seen, like shit that'll get on Reddit, have been from MegaCon. There's one who was a friend of a friend, and she was this really hot chick, and she went as a player rage quitting. And it was like she had taken half of a PlayStation controller, welded it on her face.
Welded?
And she was like, yeah, welded it. She molded it to her face using makeup and stuff. And she was like she was like she was number 2 on the gaming subreddit. And every other cosplay besides that I've seen ranked like top 25 and up have been people from MegaCon. There's been people who dressed up as 40K, people in like full scale Space Marine stuff. Like these guys made animatronics that they wear around. People who were Wolverine, Deadpool, all of the Deadpool D-Pity comics or videos that he does, like where he just
That was the one
He-Man
you saw.
Yeah. There's the He-Man
that one
that we
He-Man?
saw. That
Okay, so this is a funny story actually. I'll tell it. So me and Nick, it was MegaCon, right? It was what is it like?
It was Mega.
I believe it was MegaCon. We were walking. We were like on our way out to get food, I believe.
Yeah.
And then like there was a He-Man like facing facing like direction we were going. And then like both me and Nick were like looking at this He-Man, thinking, they have a good ass. And then we were like questioning our sexuality at that moment as we walked by. As we walked by, both of us like turn our heads immediately to check out if it's actually a guy or if it's a girl. It's just so funny because was it Mindy was there with us too?
Yeah.
And then like after we both turned back around, she was just laughing at us because we both turned around simultaneously.
Yeah.
And yes, Kenny, it was actually a girl.
Yeah,
It was
I figured you wouldn't be so like happy and like go lucky with the story unless it was a happy ending.
I've been telling the story. It could have been a 50-50.
I'm not going into that. Not now. Oh man, that can go a whole nother direction.
But the famous child predator one, that they were at MegaCon as the one where it's like a toddler, like not even a 3, like a 2-year-old in a predator costume.
I remember that.
And everyone's like, oh, ha ha ha, it's a child predator. And if you read the post, you're like, what the fuck is so funny about a child predator? And you're like, oh, it's like the predator alien, but a child. So it was really adorable. And then, like I said, the DPD Deadpool guy with his kid, where he'll sometimes wear like the Attack on Titan costume bodysuit, and his like little Asian child will like run up as Mikasa and like hit him with cardboard swords, and he'll drop and fall down, and pretend to be dead. He's there every now and then. Just a lot of people who are like meme worthy on the internet for cosplaying. They go there. Yaya Han, she had a panel there as well. Mark and I have met her like far more than we should probably admit. Jessica Nigiri, her too. YouTubers are
the last few minutes, it's just titties. That's literally like
that's really just been
titties.
That's a huge piece of conventions.
Huge.
And actually, on a bad note, I did want to point that out too, and that was something I was gonna kind of bring out there. A huge component of this is people think of like nerds, like before MCU made it kind of a pop culture thing. People thought of comic book fans and cosplaying as something just nerds did. Fat neckbeards would dress up as Wolverine or Superman. They'd have the gun out and they'd be all fat and shit. And then like they just get like hot booth babe level women to just do this, and people would be scummy as shit about it. Like they'd go in and they'd be taking selfies and groping them and shit. And now, and for the past few years, I don't remember if PAX had it, but MegaCon like throws it out there. It's like cosplay is not consent. You grope these people, you're getting your ass kicked out. Like zero fucking tolerance for that shit. Because it was a huge epidemic, I want to say like 2013, 2014. Like right when I finished undergrad, it was like a huge problem.
Yeah.
Because it was like becoming really popular, and then people would, like women would dress up and all that. And it's definitely one of those things where if you go with a significant other, it could be a minor.
My bad.
Yeah, it could be a minor point of contention because jealousy happens. You see a really awesome cosplay, and it just happens to be someone who's cosplaying Kill la Kill.
See, but the thing there is, it's not just a cosplay thing in general. It's just like, yes, if a girl wants to dress the way they want to, not even just a girl, a guy, you know, they're entitled to their opinion on how they dress and how they want to be dressed. So, fuck it. Let them be who they are and what they want to do. You have no right to touch them. No one, like, you.
Yes.
I've always been told, keep my hands to myself, you know, unless the girl's like, hey, you know. But that doesn't, you know, happen as often as the people think. So, and, you know, this is also just anime to the next level and to the origin where in Japan, people do that shit all the time too. Like, when you go to Japan, Nick, or when we go to Japan, wink wink,
when we get to Japan,
you're going to realize how easy it is and how annoying it is because you're trying your hardest to keep away. But, like, there's times where you're stuck in the train and, like, the girl's just on you. And you're trying not to be that weird foreigner that, like, tries to grope a girl. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna try. And sometimes just, like, me and Putai have moments where it's just like, fuck. I'm just trying to like put my hand in a way where like I'm not fucking touching anyone, put it in your pocket, but then you're elbowing somebody in the wrong place. It's just like you can't win. You literally can't win. So it's just funny to me how this kind of concern from the motherland, Japan,
Yeah.
is like indirectly affecting us.
And again,
Indirectly.
it is correct. No, I mean, yeah, it's bad because it's one of those things where, unfortunately, it hasn't been droned out. Where if you like this sort of thing, it's sort of a positive feedback loop where it's like, oh, only awkward neckbeards get into this, and then awkward neckbeards do fall into this, and then they kind of keep the cycle going where it's like, oh, other nerds will like grope girls here too at conventions, and then it's like, oh, I can use this as an example as like a chance to feel up that girl's really nice booty. And then,
Yeah.
oh wow, I just got knocked the fuck out. Why did that happen? Well, because you're a fucking piece of shit scumbag who should have been knocked the fuck out.
But then there's
I'm not gonna.
also, oh man, there's also
It's within reason. It's all about the intent. Like honestly, I bumped into a bunch of attractive women there, and it was not like the intention was not, oh, I'm gonna fondle your tits and ass. That was not at all the intention.
Yeah.
And it happens, just like on the train thing. It's something that
I
happens.
also want to say it's not just trains. I forgot about it, but like all the buildings you go into, they're just very very compact. So you're gonna bump into people no matter what. You can try your fucking hardest, but it's gonna happen. You can try your hardest to go look at that one volume of My Hero that you've always wanted, and you finally see it, but the only way you can get to it through it is that there's two hot girls in front of you, and you have to like get between them to reach up to the top. It's gonna happen. You just can't do anything about it. You just gotta just take it, man. But there are moments like you mentioned Kill la Kill where they're wearing nudist beach cosplay, and that's where it's like
Oh,
that's like illegal at cons. Not all, but some cons. Like Anime Boston, they don't let that shit happen. Like I've seen people try to get in and they just walk around the front of the building because they can't do anything. They can't go in. It's way too revealing, and it's super understandable.
I think the worst I'd ever seen was a woman who went. It wasn't Poison Ivy, but it was very similar. It wasn't Kerrigan either. It was like one of those nude but not nude, and she essentially just had electrical tape on her nipples, like leggings, and just like that was it. Like she had nothing on the top and like flesh leggings. I'm pretty sure were ripped on the bottom.
Is
And
that
I'm
just
like,
illegal statewide, regardless of the con?
no, actually, it's not because
I
I
think it's a
think
frowned upon thing,
she
but
had
it's
enough
not.
pieces there, and yeah, it is frowned upon. But there is a thing where it's like you can't just like streak through a fucking public place. That's absolutely unacceptable. But
Well, and they have
it's
the
one
right
of
to kick you out because they have dress
yeah,
codes that they
yeah.
So that's where the line is drawn. Specifically, it's like where you're going to, the vendor has the right to say, "Hey, we don't want you in." And when I say vendor, I mean the convention hall.
organizers.
So
What do they call it? The EOs, the event organizers.
yeah. So at the end of the day, we want everyone to go to cons, have fun, do what you want to do, dress how you want to be. If you want to be um, a white man dressed up as Mr. Popo and go blackface, I won't hate you, but that's really weird. Don't do that. But you know,
So
if you really want to do that, I won't hate you for it too much. Yeah, I'm actually gonna hate you. That's weird. Don't do that.
the inverse of that. So I'm walking with Christian. We're going to get our tickets. I see a Michonne cosplayer. Looks just like her. Dreads, everything. I'm like, that's perfect. That was an amazing job. The
I was
katanas.
like, who
All you're
is he
doing is
talking about? And I remember
yeah, Michonne from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw what was probably her sister as Harley Quinn. Again, one of those, the blonde wig, you've got the outfit and it looks great, but it's just the exact inverse as your, I'm guessing, sister or cousin. And it was good. I'm not saying it was bad or anything. I'm all for alternate takes on cosplays. Trust me. I've seen just about everything, every combined jump, both gender and race. But it's just funny that you brought that up because I've seen it done well and I've seen it done bad.
It's
So
just especially in the time that we're in and everything that's gone on in the last year or so, something like that would just be very hard to find socially acceptable. But it's your choice to cosplay however you want to cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
But holy shit, that's gonna be socially unacceptable as fuck.
yeah, if I saw a white guy going as Popo, I'd be like, oh, good for you, because that's just straight blackface. That's not even a cosplay. That's just you are just awful fucking relic of a bad age. But
Yeah,
whatever.
because at the
You
end
do
of the
you.
day, cosplay is about embracing what you're into and
Yep.
showing love for characters that had a lasting effect on you. And if you see like a character that you think, oh my god, I love this character, I really want to like create this cosplay and present myself, then whatever, that's your choice. Especially when you make a living out of it. If you make a living like Jessica Nigri or
Yep,
Yaya
yeah,
Han, then don't fucking touch them, man. Like that's their job.
yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure they're like open to like. Well, I know Jessica Nigri's like I love the boobies. So like if a girl's like, hey, trying to play around, like I'm pretty sure she doesn't care. But you can't just expect somebody to be okay with you touching them because of how they dress. That's it. All right. So
So before we get towards what's basically strip club etiquette, on the
Okay.
note of favorite characters cosplaying, there's also a 350-pound man who was dressed as a baby and
you
Baby and what?
you skipped out there.
oh, there's a 350-pound man who dressed as a baby and wore nothing but a diaper.
Yo, can I do that next con?
Fucking don't you dare, because I'm not associating with you.
I'm gonna keep my beard and everything.
At that
Get this?
point, at
If
that
we get
point,
a
it's literally
panel, if we
Halloween.
get a panel at a convention, we will wear fucking diapers, nothing else, to that convention. And by we, I mean Loha.
Oh wait, Nick, did you see the link I posted in the other chat of the con cosplay?
Yeah.
It's a dude with a like majestic ass beard. He's just as Kana, like the tiny
Yeah.
dragon from Dragon Maid.
Yeah, the deadpan one.
Yeah. So
Another thing
yeah,
that's
go ahead.
fun, honestly, as a tight line to fill, not fill, as a tight line to walk, is having kids there. You also got to be aware of that fact is if you've got little kids and you're going to a convention, be prepared for them to see some unmentionable shit.
Yeah.
Your children will understand human anatomy after going to a convention.
Yeah.
There will be no secrets. There will be
Like,
nothing hidden.
yes, it's cute that you can dress your little kid as Goku. Yes, it's cute that you can, you have like a little mini Deku or something like that. Like, whatever. I'm never gonna bash anyone for it, but it's like, you need to know what you're getting into before going. And then those parents need to learn that they can't complain about how they're dressing because you brought your kid.
Yes.
You should know what that environment is. You should know what the culture is. You should know how this community of cosplayers are. So you have no right to like judge anyone else. They'll judge you for bringing your kid there in the first place.
Yes.
Pretty much, if your kid wants to dress up as that, wait for Halloween. That's all I have to say about that. Because Halloween is a little bit more friendly for that.
You're not going to bump into a bunch of sluts wearing absolutely nothing on the street in all likelihood.
Yeah, because they'll be in a party somewhere else.
Yeah, they'd be in a party.
Yeah, well, they won't be up here because it's like way too cold in October.
Yeah.
True.
Florida, man. That's great.
Fuck you. I'm not moving.
Yes, you are. Christian's here. We're going to get you in Loha soon.
Shut up. So, yeah, that is definitely understandable as an issue. I think if You're going to come to a convention, know what you're getting yourself into. If you are an active convention goer, you have no right to complain or say anything. You're going to go there, you're going to enjoy yourself because you already know what you're getting yourself into. As you know, sometimes the conventions themselves will change, whether it's their community or culture. Like PAX has changed so many times over the years. And especially because
MegaCon too.
it's growing. It's growing at such a ridiculous rate that they don't have the space like PAX does, because that convention hall is pretty huge. And they started with a small, like a huge convention hall with a small fan base. So when they started and I was first going, you know how they have 3 sections? Like they have three sections of the hall. When I first went, there was the first section you walk into and you had to line up there. Mind you, you barely took up 10% of that area. And then you walk in, walk around, and then you go all the way over to the third section because that's where all the games were. And when I say all the games, I mean even the tabletop games. So the tabletop games and the video games were all in one area because that's how small the fan base was for PAX when it first started. And the reason why I know is because I went back in like 2010, maybe. No, 2011 probably. Yeah, there was 2011 or 12. That's when I first went. So when I first went with my friends, it was just one of those things where it's like, oh man, I'm getting all this exposure. This is really cool. And I even played in tournaments, like a Turtle Beach tournament and things like that. And it was like, wow, this is awesome. We don't have any of this here. We finally do. I can't wait to go here again next year. But then all the other people in the area started realizing that too. Because you think there's anything like up in Maine or like, I don't know, like all these different shitty states that have nothing, they're all going to come down here. Because PAX is the next best thing next to like New York Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally nothing else on the Northeast. So that's why, there's been so much change with that. Kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's great to get more and more people there, and you know that convention center is never going to die because they're going to bring so much business to it. And then Anime Boston as well.
Anime Boston, I've been meaning to go to.
You're going next year.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll buy your badge. You got to come up here though.
Yeah, no, no, that's fun.
What months
March?
is Anime Boston usually?
It's usually like March or April.
March. Yeah, okay.
Because
2 years ago, I think it was February because PAX was March, and then I got into the mindset of thinking PAX was always in March.
Sometimes they overlap, which is great.
Or May.
Sometimes.
I was like, what the fuck?
Wasn't it 1 year where it was like one weekend was Anime Boston, then the next weekend was literally PAX East?
I think that was 20.
That was last year, wasn't it?
I was there
it wasn't last year.
when it was both, and that was not fun.
It was last year. It was last year because you.
I was there. I worked both events.
At the hotel.
I had to go to both events.
I felt bad because Kenny needed a room, and I was like, stay with us because fucking pass out and don't kill people and die.
That's fine.
I remember that.
Also, March.
Dude, you were right. It was bad.
March 30th until April 1st. That's Anime Boston next year.
All right, I'll be there.
Write it in your calendars
I'm gonna
and such.
mark on my calendar.
All right, so announcement for you guys. We're gonna have a booth in Anime Boston 2018.
What?
Yes, we are.
We did it. So,
I mean, we may be talking about we're going to go and grab a booth and like just sprint the fuck out the door, but we will have a booth.
Yeah, it'll be ours. We'll own it. It's our booth now. You know.
Or we'll just bring our own little camping table and just set up shop like in the middle of the queue line.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to mention about conventions, especially ones I've gone to, is I feel like everyone that has created their own booth and like all the activities they have with theirs. A lot of them like to answer questions at the end or just get personal and talk to you one-on-one. I think that's like the greatest thing about it. I like the fact that I can go out of my way and like talk to this guy that like I've been following on the internet forever and actually build a conversation / relation with that character or person. So I had that happen to me twice with 2 different people, and now we're like on like buddy terms. It's pretty cool. So like there's one guy who I've always been a big fan of, and kind of like someone I look up to when it comes down to what he does. And he had this panel which I actually loved so fucking much. And before the panel, I like messaged him asking him like what to bring to the panel because it's like a certain food you bring and eat it during you while you go. It's called anime burger time, I think.
Okay,
And
so this is a burger one, right?
yeah, so you bring your burger, you come in and you watch anime characters eat burgers and you eat burgers at the same time, which is pretty funny. And I asked him, I was like, "Hey, so what burgers should we get? Should we get for it?" And he was like, "Oh, go to this burger place. I hear it's really good." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And he was there, and I was so hyped, and I was like, "Oh, shoot, dude!" And like, I actually like we shook hands and talked for a bit, and I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, it's crazy seeing you here, even though you just mentioned." It's like, "Yeah, I just wanted to grab one too before the show, blah blah." And I was like, "All right, cool." And we got there, and we were like second in row, and I found out one of the people I work for, well, work with at Anime Boston and all the Crunchyroll events, was actually there, literally right next to me with his girlfriend, and I didn't even know because we weren't friends at that time. So it's just crazy how small of a world it is with like conventions. You just kind of like make these connections with people, and you can make very long lasting friendships. You know, so you just gotta be really open to everything when you go in. Except if somebody's handing you candy, just deny it. That's weird.
Oh, Space Christ. Thankfully, there's 3 or 4 things I'm glad to shit that are dead.
Me.
One, or my emotions first off. First off, fucking awkward ass people going around with the free hug signs. Because I
No, I'm so
swear to
glad,
God, I cannot imagine how many neckbeards just fucking blew their brains out after they got 0 hugs. Because the number's high, I guarantee it. Second, the random awkward dance parties for weird shit, whether it be Lonely Island's Jizz My Pants or the Caramel Dancing song. Fuck if that wasn't annoying as shit.
What
I'm
about
trying to get
those?
to that goddamn panel. Get the fuck out of my way.
What about those escalators? The escalator high fives. You ever deal with that? That triggers me so bad.
It does bother me.
Yeah, like, oh, let's get on the escalator. Everyone's like,
yeah. It's like, don't touch me.
It's like, dude, I don't want to touch you.
Disgusting individuals. I can smell you from the bottom of the goddamn.
Oh my god, like that annoys me. And like, I used to find it really funny seeing Deadpool's like just sprinkled around.
Every single one.
That was going to be the third. Was Deadpool's just. Oh yeah, we're Deadpool. It's fucking funny as shit until it's overplayed.
Like how much fun are you really having just laying down on the floor in a random corner of a convention doing absolutely nothing for a weekend, but just sitting there?
There are people who
they do that. They do that. It's crazy.
Off of that shit.
Oh my god, I think it's funny, but holy shit, I can't do that. That specifically, I think it's just fucking hilarious, and I can't.
There aren't even a lot of people who do that, the Deadpool thing, and do it right. Even.
Yeah.
Yes,
they just dress up as Deadpool, and they're just like not what Deadpool should be. Like I mean, yeah, it's cool you want to dress as Deadpool, but like,
what's that fucking dance that they do?
The yeah, the.
I don't know what it is. I just know it's this.
Not the take on Dark Souls version.
You keep cutting out.
They play the take on. I'm thinking the Dark Souls version of that, where they play the take on. Fuck, I know what you're talking about.
It's so annoying, only because it's so played out. Like the first time you see it, it's pretty funny, and if there's a new rendition to it that is like inventive, then it's funny. But if you're doing exactly the same thing someone else did in another video, I can't watch it because I'm just like, I don't care if it's different characters. Yeah. Holy shit.
No, I understand. Trust me, I understand.
Fuck.
Anyway,
Yeah, we were ranting a bit, but you'll get there.
that's
Once
part
you
of
start going to
convention.
cons, you'll know.
So here's something actually I want to peek to in my article that I was arguably going to write or not. And I'd like to hear from both of you first before I give my response. We'll start with Mark, being the not single one in the group. When
Yes.
it comes to your significant other and conventions, it's kind of I don't know, Kenny. Did you find someone in the past like 2
No, I'm
weeks?
still single.
Okay. Yeah, same here. It's all good.
It's lit.
Anyway, um, my interior rage building, but Mark, you and your girlfriend happen to play video games together. She's into this nerdy stuff. Is there anything like about conventions you've ever had to convince her to go to, or any aspect of that where it's been like, I promise it's fun, like in terms of nerdy stuff, not just conventions, but basically, I guess the topic I'm trying to get at is getting your significant other to do nerdy things with you,
Well, I
especially
mean, she
conventions.
already does, so
I know. So
that's kind of a
I think what's
kind of
cool is
not
that
really what.
she's weeb like you, and she's like undercover weeb for me because I feel like I don't see it as very often. And then like when she's in this chat or something, and she's bringing up some stuff I didn't think she was gonna bring up. I'm like, oh shit, that's super dope. Like I feel like that can't be matched
Yeah.
by any feeling. Like knowing that you're with somebody that's equally or like maybe more weeb than you or like into this shit as much as you. Especially when you
It's
have
different little overlaps of weeb with
yeah.
us.
But that's awesome. Do you guys watch stuff together?
yes, the answer better be yes.
Yes, some things, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you
Not
obviously
always,
have
yeah.
your own like opinions. Like you'd be like, oh yeah, I want to watch this lolly shit. And she's just like, I don't want to watch this lolly shit.
What
I
if
want
she
to watch a
came
show
to you
about
and
this guy loving his sister. I don't want to watch that.
my sister's just being tsundere? That was the greatest. That was the greatest part of it. I lost my shit. Anyway, what if she told you that she just flat out loved Big Order and thought that was the greatest anime of ever?
I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, so.
So this was the
Sure.
last.
That
This
is
was
true love.
this was the last day
Jessica,
that we
I know
had.
you're not on, but that is
Uh,
true love.
It's nice knowing Nick. You know, he lasted pretty long with us, but you know, it's gotten to that point. We need to look at the future and you know, look for someone else to take the reins as a part of the team because he brought a Big Order, and that's like a no-no for us. That's actually written in the terms and conditions when you sign up. You can't talk about Big Order. If you've survived it, you know, don't fucking talk about it. What's another like cult classic anime like that where it's just like absolute shit from years ago?
Days?
School Days is the
No.
only one I can think of.
No.
It's not really shit,
Oof.
though.
That
It's
wasn't
not.
shit.
I don't. It's
That
not
was...
shit. It's very impactful. I'll say that. But it's like that series that. Would you say Big Order's in that realm, or you just think the Big Order shit? But I think Big Order's shit, like really
Yeah,
shit, like
sure.
shit that got shit on shit, and it's just a really shitty situation.
Like if you were to Google
It's
shit
a big order
as a
of shit.
dictionary term, it gives you the Wikipedia page, the IMDb, and basically some random ass 4 page pertaining to Big Order.
Oh my god, dude, it's
Yeah,
too
I
much
really
for
can't
me.
think of an anime that gets as much hate from the
No.
three of us.
From the three of us, definitely not.
I feel like that's what really brought us together.
Yes.
It's anime, not just Big
That is
Order, but it's anime.
actually...
You know, anime brought us together like this. We were watching Nagi no Asakura and like Kill la Kill and shit, and we got like really close. And then like you know, Big Order came and just made us all hate and rage together, though, not by ourselves, together. And man, I actually want to like just go back in time and tell myself this anime is shit, keep watching it because you'll build a relationship here.
Yeah? Yeah?
It's
Well
absolutely
said.
awful.
I love
Well
that. Well
said.
said. We're gonna make a plaque of that. That's gonna be a T-shirt we sell.
Dude, I should just put that as like a motivational poster if we ever like have like an office thing for us. It's like here.
It's just a giant poster in the back saying, I survived Big Order.
I survived Big
Yes.
Order. Holy shit.
Oh my god,
Dude, that
I
is
did
actually a
not
pretty
think-
dope t-shirt idea.
Yes.
You guys can't steal it. Stop it. Stop it. Don't write it down. I see you with the pen. Put it down. So, yes.
So
We'll do that.
fun things about conventions too, especially like MegaCon and PAX. Getting back to what we were talking about before,
Mm-hmm.
everything ties together very well.
Go on.
In D&D, tonight I just got done doing my D&D session, and everyone there except for one person, two people are in. One of them is a huge. Two of them are huge anime fans. They're a couple, and they've got a really great sense of humor. What ends up happening is I take this story where basically I explain there's this girl who has no emotions, and all she can do is say no. She's like just there. It's like this innocent like girl, and all she says is no or don't take the items or please don't take the items. That's all she says. So she's wearing just a simple outfit, and basically what I ended up doing was I had a. She was 4 to 5 years old. It's the girl from Heneko, the deadpan one who gave away her emotions, and it's like yeah, so that's it. And basically there's a box at the top with the items, and basically the only way they can get it is it's a stone box. The only way they can get it at all is to take it. They can't knock it off. They can't levitate it. They can only take it. So they leave it alone, and this one character just goes up and says, "Oh well, nice box you have there." To the 4-year-old girl, and then he's like, "No, no, 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 no! I swear I didn't mean for it to come out like that." And again, the whole table's just like, "Dude, she's 4. What the hell is wrong with you?" So of course it's hilarious because we're leaving, and I'm able to I like off the top of my head, I know they're all anime fans. They know like the meme where it's the girl it's that character patting a seat in a police car, and everyone's like, "Oh, pedophile," and they use that GIF. So I actually I turned the final boss into Chris Hansen, and everyone got that because when you're a nerd, you go to these conventions, it brings like-minded fans, not of one thing, not of two things, but of a collection of things. I was able to make an anime joke and a very awkward Chris Hansen joke, combine them together into a boss fight in D&D, all on the fly, and everyone enjoyed it, everyone loved it, everyone had a blast. Because that's what this sort of event can bring together is people who genuinely like the same weird combination of things. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was House. They talk about how at a convention or the internet, if you want to go and you want to recreate the Battle of Antietam, which is a Civil War battle, and instead of the North and the South, you want to be the Imperials and the Rebels from Star Wars, you can go out there to a convention, have an event, and find the 18 people in the world who want to do that. And that's the sort of shit you can do at conventions. You can have zombie Nerf battles, panels with chicks who are famous because they have big racks, watch awkward borderline child pornography, watch drunken idiots like us sit at a table and get asked questions about what burger do you want to eat. That's what conventions are. It's a microcosm of nerd culture.
Yeah.
Use common sense when you go to the goddamn things. And most of all, rule 0, have fun.
Awesome. I like that. I see what you did there. You're good. You're great. Now, I want to say this. If you're going to go to a convention, you should always come out with something. You're always going to come out with the experience. But you should always know that a convention, especially for anime, you are provided with the opportunity to see what everyone else finds extremely popular and find out why it's so popular. Just go to Artist Alley and see what all the artists are drawing, what they were inspired to draw. And you'll see some great art. You're just like, oh, what is this from? write that shit down. Go home when you get back, and then just watch it all, and you'll come out much better. I feel like it's always good to watch anime if you're like a seasonal watcher right after you've gone to a con, because then you know what's popular right off. Because you have like a popularity vote because everybody who's there, at least 80% of them are already drawing whatever you think, whatever is popular, or whatever they think is popular, because they have to sell. And you'll be able to go downstairs and talk to like Crunchyroll or Funimation, um, Anime Strike. I'm pretty sure they're gonna start doing some stuff at cons, and
Probably.
Daisuke. So you have so many different um, avenues to look into this. And it's not just that, but you'll also be able to meet people who they don't have to be cosplayers. It could be literally just a random person. They might like what you like. But if you're online together, start a conversation. And I'm only saying this if you are that kind of person that kind of wants to meet more people. I feel that I waited too long in my life to just branch out. Now, if I get the opportunity to talk to someone new and they seem to be interested in things I'm interested in, I like to have that conversation. Depending on the crowd, it can be a little tougher, but just be open to the idea. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. You just walk away and be like, okay, that person's stupid. Or, okay, I don't like their opinion. Because at the end of the day, everyone's there because they're into the same thing you're into or like what you're into. So, just do it. Nike.
On the note of going away with things, also, take that physically. Swag. I got this button at Artist Alley and $70 worth of dice from Chessex.
Wow.
These fucking things are $12 each. They're fist-sized dice. And I got a T-shirt that I'm going to wear.
So I'm just hearing weapons. Everything you've said so far, I see as a weapon.
Jesus Christ.
Is it solid?
Yes. Like if I were to, like this thing is like
if you
solid.
were to drop that on a glass table,
Yeah, it would break the fucking glass. Yes.
Good lord.
Like this is a rock. Like here, listen.
Yeah.
Like I could chuck this through a window and break a window.
As my friend Shadley said, you can defend yourself. So
yeah,
that's always good.
It's great because when I'm gaming, I've got dice for defense and then firearms for playing around.
That's another thing too.
Of course that comes up.
Sorry, I'm trying to find it. I can't find it on my desk. Shit. I wanted to bring this up. Oh, found it. Okay. So when you're at conventions, a lot of people don't have the luxury to go and visit and experience the country that they love so much, like Japan. So I've gotten these buttons from Japan, and I think they're awesome. They're, Atsushi and Dazai.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like such a small, simple thing, right? But because I got it from Japan, it's very meaningful to me. So I got a whole bunch of buttons like that, and things like that. It's pretty awesome. Going to a convention gives you more opportunities to get that plushie that you see on JList or something, where you're like, oh my god, I want it so bad, but I hate shipping and I'm not gonna ever get to Japan. Then you could just walk in, buy the shit. Hey, you want a body pillow? Buy the shit. You want
a Diva body pillow? Buy that shit. Because no one's gonna fucking judge you.
Well, it's a judgment-free zone. Christian.
He bought a Diva pillow just to fuck with me. He's like, hey Nick, and he just starts quoting like Diva lines. I'm like, dude,
nerf this.
That's exactly what he said. That's the first one he said is nerf this. So I'm just standing there. I'm like, you know the shit I've done. You know the people I've done. I have no shame anymore. So of course he's like, oh, well, I spent $35 to embarrass you for the rest of the day, but I just realized I'm gonna be walking around with this pillow. I'm like,
yeah, I don't think any of us care of things anymore. Like, being embarrassed is like...
really, if you buy a body pillow, the only person you're embarrassing is yourself.
Two reasons why he turned around. One, he loved it. He felt it. He was like, this is the comfiest goddamn pillow. I'm about to buy another one. Second, at least 10 people asked him, "Hey man, where do you get the cool body pillow?" And he'd be like, "Oh, you go 2 rows down, take a right, or oh,
It's a
4 rows around,
conversation
take a left."
starter. It's all
It
work.
did
Like,
exactly the opposite of what he
fucker.
was planning on doing with it.
Yeah, I was like, that's the literal opposite of your intent, but whatever. I almost bought a soldier or a Genji one just because it would have been fucking hilarious to have soldier 76, like this old ass dude with an assault rifle. It's like, yeah, this is my body pillow. And then of course they made it awkward because the Hanzo one was oddly erotic. I was like, oh, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, it
but
makes
okay.
sense. You know,
Did
the
they
fan
have a
base
Roadhog
want that
body
shit.
pillow?
I think they did.
Is it like a beanbag chair?
There was a dude who was dressed as Roadhog. That's the greatest shit to me. That is the greatest amount of body self-confidence. Is if you can do fat ass
Oh, is it
characters like
actually
that.
like a really big guy?
He was a fat dude. He just fucking sharpied on his gut, and he had like belt straps around him, and he had the mask. He had a gas
That
mask.
is amazing.
And it was awesome because like he was next to a Tracer and a Diva. That Diva also, I want to add, was the greatest Diva I'd ever seen because she was a hot Korean girl. And I only got like 3 seconds faster because I would have totally hit on that.
All right. So I just want to say this has been extremely fun, and we got to learn a lot of interesting things. I hope you got to learn some great things. Hopefully you can take away the fact that, you know, conventions are nothing but great for you. You obviously will encounter some shitty ones, but that's a learning experience. So go out, indulge yourself in this culture, hang out with the community that, you know, will embrace you as much as you've embraced the material that they worship. So just fucking do it, man. Don't be a closeted weeb. Be a weeb that goes outside sometimes. That's always good. You kind of want that slight tan. You don't want to be like dark AF. You want to be like me or like Mark. Mark's kind of dark, but not really. Well, thank you so much for watching the podcast. Really appreciate it. And, you know, check out our articles. You know, we are maybe possibly moving towards a daily uploading. Maybe. And we'll have a Throwback Thursday post up tomorrow. It's going to be really interesting and silly, but not really silly. But
that's good.
I'm just gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm doing Death Note, so everyone kind of knows how I feel about Death Note. So yeah, that'll be an interesting read. So check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and you know where to go. OtakuGamers.com. Later.
Later.
Take care.